37, and I do detect a quorum with myself present. Council members Allen, Benedict, Cap, Horton, Parker, Rutherford, Vice Chair Rutherford, and Councilmember Bowe in attendance. Thank you all for being here. Pursuant to Section 844-112 of Tennessee Code Annotated, this time is reserved for public comment. We don't have anyone signed up for public comment. And just to confirm, is anyone here in the back for public comment for this Planning and Zoning Committee meeting? All right, with no one standing up, without further ado, we will get started with the consent agenda. I'll read off the items for consent, and if anything needs to be pulled off, please let me know before we get into the captions. Consent agenda starts with number 2 on your agenda, RS 2025-1077, 1078, 1079, 1092, 1096, 1097, 1098, 1099, and moving on to bills on second reading consent, starting with BL 2025-706, 740. No, 706 is not on consent. We have an amendment, so that one is not on consent. 746 is on consent. 747, 748. Bills on third reading consent, 712, 713, 714, 715, 716, 717, 718, 719, 722, 723, 724, 725, 726, 729, and 732, 733, and 734, 735, 736, 737, 738. All of those items are on consent. Do any of those need to be pulled off the consent agenda? Councilmember Horton.
Sorry, Chair, did you say item 10, RS 2025-1101 was on consent or not?
No, it is not.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Does anything else need to be pulled off? All right, I'll go on and read the captions. Starting with number 2, RS 2025-1077, a resolution to approve the Third Amendment to a grant contract for construction affordable housing approved by RS 2022-1443 between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission and Inspiritus, Inc. RS 2025-1078, a resolution to approve the Second Amendment to a grant contract for constructing affordable housing approved by RS 2022-1443 between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission and Habitat for Humanity of Greater Nashville. RS 2025-1079, a resolution to approve the Third Amendment to a grant contract for constructing affordable housing approved by RS 2022-1443 between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission and Rebuilding Together Nashville. RS 2025-1092, Porterfield Parker Gamble Toombs, a resolution approving a preliminary engineering agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and CSX Transportation, a Virginia corporation with its principal place of business in Jacksonville, Florida, to facilitate the development of sidewalk improvements adjacent to CSX Rail at Alabama Avenue. RS 2025-1096, Cap Porterfield, Gamble, Parker, and Toombs, a resolution approving a participation agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Department of Water and Sewage Services and Richland Building Partners to provide sanitary sewer service improvements for Richland's proposed development as well as other existing properties areas. RS 2025-1097, Easley, Gamble, and Parker, resolution to amend ordinance number BL 2022-1222 to authorize the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to modify the linear feet of water and sanitary sewer mains and sanitary sewer manholes to be abandoned and accepted, and to update map and parcel information for now one property located at Chandler Road, also known as Chandler Reserve Phase 4. RS 2025-1098, Coop and Gamble Parker, resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept a new public sanitary sewer manhole for property located at 1532 DeMumbrium Street, also known as DeMumbrium Hill South. RS 2025-1099, Parker Gamble, a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon an existing fire hydrant assembly for property located at 800 Dickerson Pike, also known as East Nashville FSER. RS 2025, going to bills on second reading, Bill 2025-706, Toombs, Porterfield, Gadd, Gamble, Parker, Welsh, and Allen, an ordinance approving two greenway conservation easements between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation and Rogers Group, Inc. for greenway improvements at 0 Greenwood Drive. And that one is not on consent. I keep wanting to put 706 on consent. That one's not on consent. Bill 2025-746, an ordinance authorizing MDI 3rd Avenue Nashville LLC to construct and install an underground encroachment at 311 3rd Avenue South. Bill 2025-747, Welsh and Gamble, an ordinance authorizing the abandonment of alley number 1881, right-of-way between Joyner Avenue and alley number 1879. Bill 2025-748, Gregg and Gamble, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public water and sanitary sewer main, fire hydrant assembly, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for two properties located at 310 and 312 Donaldson Pike. Bills on third reading, Bill 2025-712, Welch, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and Zoning Ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from IWD to SP zoning for property located at 361 Heron Drive, approximately 172 feet east of Nolensville Pike, to permit 350 multifamily residential units. Bill 2025-713, Welch, companion bill, ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for Bill 2025-712. Bill 2025-714, Toombs, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and Zoning Ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from R8 to SP zoning for property located at 866 Youngs Lane, approximately 430 feet southeast of Roy Street, to permit 85 multifamily residential units. Bill 2025-715, Toombs, a companion bill, the ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for Bill 2025-714. Bill 2025-716, Benedict, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and Zoning Ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from R6 to SP zoning for property located at 2116 Scott Avenue, approximately 350 feet south of Otay Street, to permit 10 multifamily residential units. Bill 2025-717, Benedict, companion bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for Bill 2025-716. Bill 2025-718, Welch, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from IWD to ORI zoning for properties located at 502 Lester Avenue and 506 Woody Crest Avenue at the northeast corner of Woody Crest Avenue and Lester Avenue. Bill 2025-719, Toombs, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government in Nashville and Davidson County by changing rezone from RS5 to RM20A zoning for property located at 34 Lucille Street, approximately 100 feet west of Elmhurst Avenue. Bill 2025-722, Welch, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS5 to R6A zoning for property located at 2319 Foster Avenue, approximately 105 feet north of Peachtree Street. Bill 2025-723, Toombs, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government in Nashville and Davidson County by changing from R10 to RM9 ANS zoning for properties located at 3309 and 3313 Curtis Street, approximately 150 feet west of Courtney Avenue. Bill 2025-724, Kimbrough, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS10 to RM9 ANS zoning for property located at 1704 County Hospital Road, approximately 100 feet northeast of Hydes Ferry Road. Bill 2025-725, Webb, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government in Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS20 to SP zoning for property located at 215 1 Mile Parkway, approximately 1,200 feet west of Gallatin Pike, to permit 87 multifamily residential units. BL 2025-726, Webb, and the companion bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-725. BL 2025-729, Welch, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS 10 to OR 20 ANS zoning for property located at 2826 Hartford Drive at the northeast corner of Thompson Lane and Hartford Drive. BL 2025-732, Ellis, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by amending a planned unit development overlay district on property located at 3620 Anderson Road at the northwest corner of Smith Springs Road and Anderson Road, Zone R10. BL 2025-733, Harold, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from AR2A to SP zoning for properties located at 4316 Laverne Couchville Pike and 4144 Maxwell Road, approximately 1,600 feet south of Old Hickory Boulevard to permit 46 single-family lots. BL 2025-734, Harold, a companion bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-733. BL 2025-735, Coopin, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from IR to SP zoning for properties located at 1205 and 1223 3rd Avenue North at the northwest corner of 3rd Avenue North and Madison Street to permit a mixed-use development. BL 2025-736, Coopin Companion Bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-735. BL 2025-737, Webb, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from IR to RS 3.75 zoning for properties located at Plum Street, 1318 and 1320 Plum Street and Atlantic Avenue, 400, 407, 409, 411, 413, 415, and 417 Atlantic Avenue at the north and south corner of First Street and Atlantic Avenue. And BL 2025-738 Taylor, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS5 to R6A zoning for property located at 1615 11th Avenue North, approximately 250 feet northwest of Crockrill Street and located within a detached accessory dwelling unit overlay district. May I have a motion on the consent agenda? Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? With no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Moving back to number 1 on our agenda, RS 2025-1067, Cap Porterfield and Gamble, a resolution approving a preliminary engineering agreement between CXX Transportation, Inc., a Virginia corporation and its principal place of business in Jacksonville, Florida, and the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to facilitate the replacement of an existing bridge on Eastern Avenue. And Councilmember Cap, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chair. There's a filed amendment. I'd like to move that amendment, please.
Moved and properly seconded. Okay, so you moved the bill, and now you can move the amendment.
Move the amendment, please.
Moved and properly seconded, and you're on your amendment.
Thank you, Chair. This is a housekeeping amendment. It just kind of puts legal language in there to protect Metro from our counterparty here, and it is doesn't make any other substantive change to the agreement. And with that, I move approval.
Thank you. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on, the bill as amendment. I'm moving too fast. Now we're on the bill as amended. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Bill as amended is approved. Moving on to number 10 on our agenda, RS 2025-1101. by Councilmember Gadd, a resolution requesting the Department of Finance and the Housing Division of the Department of Planning to research and determine the feasibility of the creation of a special revolving loan fund to issue loans for affordable housing that allow for smaller investments from members of the Nashville community. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. And Councilmember Horton, did you want to speak to this?
Yes, Chair, thank you. Councilmember Gadd can't be here, unfortunately. I'm on as the first co-sponsor on it. What this resolution does is two things. One, it asks the Department of Finance and the Department of Planning to evaluate the feasibility of a revolving loan fund to issue loans for affordable housing, as well as ask those departments to issue a report to the council surrounding the feasibility of creating such a fund. And with that, I'll move for approval, please.
Thank you. Moving for discussion, Councilmember Allen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to add an important piece of this is that it also allows for small contributions, because right now we have sort of that in the Catalyst Fund, but you have to make $1 million contribution to it. And there are lots and lots of people, including Mr. Meyer, who would willingly give some amount to make that happen. And this, I think, to me, that's why I signed on to this, is the ability for many people to participate, and I think is really important.
Thank you so much for bringing that up, because that is a question that I had for the Housing Division or someone from an administration. How is this different from the Catalyst Fund that already takes contributions? And it sounds like the level of contribution. What is the least amount that someone could contribute to this particular fund? And how is the process? Is it the same as the Catalyst Fund? If someone could speak to that. Oh, Tana's here. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Davis. If you will introduce yourself at the podium.
Hello, Hannah Davis with the Housing Division at the Planning Department. The division is happy to do the analysis on the ability to accept contributions. Currently, as Councilmember Allen said, the minimum contribution for the Catalyst Fund is $1 million. That's really because of the transaction costs, so the legal fees, the required compliance, the investor relations, the reporting to the SEC, all of that obviously is expensive. So we can, complete the analysis of what kind of, avenues there would be to be able to accept this kind of, this level of investment.
And so what is the difference in the, as you explained, the $1 million is prohibitive for some people who would like to contribute. Is there a minimum amount that would be set up for this fund in particular? And is there what is the mechanism for building this fund? Is it the same as the Catalyst, is just accepting a lower amount?
I believe the resolution just requests the analysis from the division. So at this time, I've researched other cities, and there's not this kind of program set up. I think because you run into these kind of challenges with the costs of accepting that investment, obviously managing it to a high level of diligence, and providing the required reporting if you're managing a fund. I know that there are other, technology platforms that have arisen to try to aggregate that level of investment. It's not been done for affordable housing. I'm not sure that our division would have the capacity to, manage that level of technology, but we can certainly complete the analysis and return it to council so you're able to understand.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Any other questions for Ms. Davis or anyone else? All right. Without further discussion, we're ready for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to number 11, BL 2025-706, Toombs, Porterfield, Gadd, Gamble, Parker, Welch, and Allen, an ordinance approving 2 greenway conservation easements between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County through the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation and Rogers Group, Inc. for greenway improvements at 0 Greenwood Drive. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. There is an amendment, and amendment has been moved and seconded. Would the planning department like to speak to the amendment? I know there is a letter of approval. Okay, we'll hear from our legal counsel, Director Darby.
This is essentially a housekeeping amendment. It adds the second conservation easement agreement that was inadvertently left off when the bill was filed.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments about the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Now on the bill as amended, thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. And moving on to the very last item that wasn't on consent, number 29 on your agenda, BL 2025-731 by Toombs, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from SP to MUGANS zoning for property located at 2400 Clarksville Pike at the northwest corner of 24th Avenue North and Clarksville Pike. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. There is a substitute on the bill. We can moved and properly seconded. And Ms. Darby, would you like to comment? Oh, planning will on this one. Oh, no, you're good. We'll hear from planning on the substitute. And I do have a letter from Councilmember Toombs for approval.
Matt Wilkinson with the Metro Council Office. The substitute converts the MUGANS zoning proposed to an SP to restrict certain uses from the SP, such as warehouse, distributive business, beer and cigarette market, bar and nightclub, automobile convenience, car wash. I believe that's all of them. And then it also requires a minimum of 20,000 square feet of commercial space.
Thank you. Thank you for that explanation. Any other questions or comments on the amendment, on the substitute? Without further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you very much. We're on the bill as substituted. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. That concludes our agenda for today.